I think the Democrats are in a quandary right now. I think they're in a hole. They can't figure this out. They've got a moderate bunch of about 25 Democrats, Maria, who are in Republican seats that were traditionally Republican, where these massive tax increases and massive increases in the debt are not popular. Then you got Manchin and you've got Sinema in the Senate who are saying no way are they going to vote for a $3.5 trillion bill. And then you got another problem, Maria. The Wall Street Journal reported today that this is not just a $3.5 trillion bill with honest accounting. If they got rid of the fake bookkeeping, that this price tag would be $5.5 trillion. And that when you add that to the $1 trillion so-called infrastructure bill and the $2 trillion bill they passed earlier this year, which ran up the debt, and people are confused, by the way, Maria. There's also a $6 trillion normal budget that they have to pass. You're talking about a train wreck now. They're not showing anybody any of the details. It reminds me of what Nancy Pelosi said. Remember, Maria, when they passed Obamacare, we'll read the bill after we pass it. And I don't think the American people are going to go for that.
Yeah, I mean, look, we've talked about this a number of times in terms of the cost, Steve Moore, and one of the issues that the Democrats continue to blow off is the true cost of this, because they have models in this spending plan that say some of the child care plan, some of the extra programs in terms of health care will go away in 2025. They say it'll go away in 2024. I mean, we both know that these programs are not going to go away 2 years in on a 10-year plan. So if you actually look at these programs till the end of the 10 years, this plan costs $5.5 trillion. But they're trying to fit a square into a circle by saying it's 3.5, by saying, oh, yeah, these plans are going to go away. Your thoughts?
Yeah, exactly. And I'm going to add something else to that. So you're not going to believe this, Maria, and Steve Forbes is going to fall off his chair when he hears this, but they are basically saying that their massive tax increase is going to grow the economy. We're going to get more economic growth by raising tax rates. So they're counting something like $500 billion of so-called dynamic scoring from raising tax rates. I mean, Steve Forbes, how do you do that? How do you grow the economy by raising the corporate tax, the dividend tax, the income tax rates, the carbon tax? I mean, it just doesn't make any sense.
Have in there a lot of things that shouldn't be in there, such as subsidies for hiring journalists. I'm a journalist, we all are, but subsidies for us, come on now, and subsidies for joining unions and things like that. So, Steve, do you think that there's a good chance this thing is actually going to fall apart and they'll just fall back on the so-called infrastructure bill?
Yeah, I think they've got big problems, Steve. I think if the vote were held today, no way would they get this thing passed. You've got Sinema and Manchin saying, look, we're not going for anywhere near $3.5 trillion. It looks like does that lead to a potential game, Steve, where they put a low, as Maria pointed out, they put a low price tag on these entitlements, new entitlements like the kiddie credit and community colleges and stuff like that, put in even $1 and then know that it's going to grow like mushrooms in the next 10 years. So put a low price in so Manchin can say, oh, instead of $3.5 trillion, it's only $1 trillion. Well, we know where it's going to go once those entitlements are in place, even if they start small. Are they going to try that trick? Of course they are. They're trying every three-card monte game they can think of to try to reduce the stated price for this. Let me give you an example of what you're talking about, Steve Forbes. You know, if you look at they want to have paid parental leave, which would be really quite, look, if big companies can afford that, fine, but a lot of the small, medium companies can't. But here's my point. Steve Forbes or Maria or Liz, what do you think the chance is if they pass paid parental leave that we will ever get rid of that new entitlement? I mean, probably zero, right?
You're not going to get it back. No, you're not.
Yeah.
You're not going to give back. And by the way, I didn't want to say anything because these numbers are so mind-boggling that I didn't want to further confuse the story. But right. Jason Smith was with me on Sunday. He is the ranking member of the House Budget Committee, and he said the number is actually closer to $7 trillion. Okay, that's what Jason Smith said. $7 trillion because of that very reason. Because you've got all of these programs that are assumed to go away, but they're not going away in a 10-year period. So Jason Smith, ranking member on the Budget Committee, is calling this a $7 trillion plan. We don't know how much it costs because we are not getting any transparency from the Democrats. You heard what Schumer said yesterday, Steve, that he basically is saying, yeah, there's a way to pay for it, and we have models, but he didn't give any details.
Well, look, the big problem they have is if you look at the polling right now, what Americans are really worried about, Maria, is inflation. And if you're going to massively increase the debt and increase spending, and Americans can connect the dots, they get it, that if you pass this big bill, inflation is going to get worse, not better. One other quick thing. If you add all the costs of all these new programs Biden has already passed and has proposed this year, plus the $6 trillion budget, that is more money, adjusted for inflation, you ready for this, than the money we spent to finance the Revolutionary War, the Civil War, World War I, World War II, the Intercontinental Rail System, the Interstate Highway System, and the moon landing, all in one.
Yeah. So will the Republicans be able to stop it, Steve?
Sorry?
Will the Republicans be able to stop it?
Yeah, look, I think there is a very good chance they don't get this done in 2021. They're trying to ram this thing through before anybody reads it. By the way, there are some rumors that the whole bill could be 5,000 pages long. When's the last time you read a 5,000-page book, Maria? How many people are even going to read this? I think the American people are going to rebel about it. I think there's a good chance this crashes and burns.
Well, isn't it incredible that the Democrats are being asked to vote on something and give, markups on something when they actually haven't seen the bill? They haven't seen those 5,000 pages. Again, read it after it's passed, like Obamacare. Exactly. Steve, thank you so much for weighing in this morning. Always good to see you. Steve Moore joining us.